Lucas has been waiting for a long time from Orlando, Florida, with a burning question. Lucas.
Hi, how you
Lucas.
doing?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, basically, what happened was I was filing for my citizenship in 2017, and I did my fingerprints and all that. And afterwards, after my fingerprints, I ended up being arrested, and it was a third-degree grand theft charge.
Right. Was that a felony or a misdemeanor charge?
Oh, it's a felony.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to court and ended up that the case got dismissed due to a PTI program.
Okay, great.
And when I went to my interview, the guy asked me for a certified copy of the court disposition, which I did not have. So due to that,
denied you.
I ended up being denied. And I filed the N336
for the appeal.
So I could provide those certified copies. But on the second interview, they explained that since the crime was committed, that I would need to wait 5 years to be able to apply again.
Right.
So my question is, if waiting those 5 years, which is, I still got another 2 years to go, if waiting that with the court disposition and all that, if I should be okay.
Absolutely, you will. You actually don't have a conviction. PTI is pretrial intervention, which means you were arrested for something with no conviction. I think the reason they denied you was because you were arrested for a very serious offense. It was a felony, even though the case the case was ultimately dismissed against you. You can try again now and try to prove good moral character, but certainly. 5 years from the end, not of the time you went to court or from the time of the offense, but 5 years from the end of the pretrial intervention, when you are no longer under the purview of the court. The court says goodbye, we don't need to see you anymore. 5 years from that day, you can file your N400 and 100%, assuming you don't get arrested again, you pay your taxes and read and write English, you'll become a citizen. My question, though, is are you married to a U.S. citizen?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm a sir, but it's okay. But, boy, my voice must be very high. But, no, if you were married to a U.S. citizen, then it would have been 3 years. But, yeah, wait 5 years.
Okay, awesome.
All right?
All right.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And another thing, should I hire you to perform the case?
Yes, as long as you call me sir and not ma'am, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm so sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm only kidding with you. Don't worry about it. All right. Yes, absolutely. When the time comes, 5 years from the time comes, absolutely.
All righty. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Esther in New Orleans, Louisiana. Esther. Hi, Esther.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question for a friend and myself.
Okay.
Let me start for my friend. She invites her brother in here, and she want to fight for her brother. Is that going to be possible for her to fight for her brother here? Her brother is here.
If you're a U.S. citizen, you can file for a brother. Absolutely. That brother is going to wait 10, 15 years for a green card. The question becomes, what will be the law in 10 to 15 years from now? Will the brother, who perhaps overstayed his visa, be able to get his green card here? Will he be able to go home and come back? I have no idea what the law will be 10 to 15 years. But if your question is, can a petition go in now? Yeah. Will he eventually get a green card in 10 to 15 years? Don't know.
Wow. Okay. All right. Another question is my child birth certificate. When I want to have him, I had him in England. My first child got him in England, so I got him with another name on his birth certificate. I didn't put my own name on the birth certificate. If I want to fight for him, my husband want to fight for them, is it going to be any problem?
Yeah, there's a different mother on the birth certificate. So what's going to happen is when you file for him, you're going to give an affidavit that you gave a different name on the birth certificate in London, and you'll have to give an excuse why. Maybe you were out of status. I don't know. Why did you give a different name?
The first name is my name, and they use the name of the father, my baby father's sister's name, because he got the papers in England, so that's why we just use the name.
Right. So you would have to give it a good reason why, as long as it doesn't affect that you committed fraud here in the United States, and you'll give an affidavit, and maybe you'll give an affidavit by one or two other people that you're the mother, and most likely what will happen is immigration will say, we don't believe these affidavits, take a blood test. And you'll take a blood test between you and your son, and blood don't lie. So that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can you put me through a consultation with you?
Yeah. Hold on one second. All right. Let's go to Lisa in Queens. Lisa.
Hi, Brad.
Hi. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
What's going on?
I have two questions. My cousin, her mom filed for her. She's over 21, but her mom is a permanent resident. And my mom filed for me as well. My mom is a U.S. citizen. They filed around the same time, 2016. But her mother got an email that the case is approved and transferred to NVC and submit documents and blah, blah, blah. But my mom hasn't received anything from me as yet. But my first question is it true that the permanent resident category is ahead of the citizen category?
No, it should be the other way around. I'm going to read you off the visa bulletin right now. So let's see what the visa bulletin says for the month of September 2020.
So we did it 2000.
Yeah. For unmarried children of U.S. citizens, I'm talking about sons and daughters over the age of 21.
Right, that would be my mom.
Right. Actually, that is correct. Actually, for this month, they're up to September 15th, 2014. And unmarried sons and daughters over the age of 21 of permanent residents, they're up to July 8th, 2015. So in fact, that is correct. To be at this moment, it kind of goes back and forth every couple months. But eventually,
that's a long stretch.
Yeah, it's an extra year, right? It's an extra year. Now, one of the tricks, and I don't know if this pertains to you, is one of the tricks you can do under the Child Status Protection Act is if when your mom filed for you, she was a resident, and at some point after the I-130 went in, she became a citizen. Under the Child Status Protection Act, you can elect to stay back in the F2B category, which would be the FASTA category.
So that was with her mom. My mom is a born American.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah,
that was with her case.
Your mom is born American?
It's my stepmom. I just say my mom.
Your stepmom. Okay, because I was going to say, if your mom's a born American, you're a citizen. Okay, so I'm like, whoa, let's stop it.
That's her case, because her mom was a resident, and then she upgraded to citizen, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
and my next question is, I have my mom did it. We got a receipt, so we had a lawyer who did the paperwork. Back then it was just 2 forms.
Right.
Now it's 21. So my mom got a receipt notice. So but the lawyer told us that he couldn't represent us because by the time 5-6 years, when it's time to get to, he's thinking about retiring.
Okay, so you can always
in
switch lawyers.
2 years, 3 years.
When your stepmom filed for you, you were over 21 or under 21?
Yeah, I was over 21.
Okay, yeah. So you can switch lawyers. Don't worry about it.
So he was saying that he's not going to able to tweak it. He's going to retire. So, but we got a receipt notice. But I wanted to know, could we bring that receipt notice to you, or do we have to try and get the file for him to see what he put on the file?
Just bring me the receipt notice, and I'll get everything. Hold on one second. All right. Let's go to Eric in Wichita, Kansas. Eric.
Hey, this is Eric.
Hi. How you doing?
Hey, so this is my question here. Some ICE agents here in Wichita, they obtained a removal order against me by fraud. Like they submitted false information to the immigration court in Kansas City, and they were able to obtain a removal order.
Who submitted false information to the immigration court? You did or somebody else?
It was ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Immigrations and Customs Enforcement submitted false information about you.
Yep.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
Okay. What was the false information that they gave in court?
So they were claiming that they received paperwork from the university which I was going to, that I had stopped attending the university from around May 2010.
What are you trying to do? Asylum?
No. They came and arrested me, and
what are you trying?
Claiming that I was already
What are you trying to
deported.
do in immigration court? Are you trying to file for asylum, or you got married to a U.S. citizen? What relief are you asking for?
No, I was just asking that if somebody is ordered removed based on false information that was turned over to the immigration court, can somebody file for stay of deportation at the district court, the federal district court?
You could always file a habeas corpus petition that you're either being held, or you can file if you're being held illegally.
No, I'm not being held.
I know. I'm just saying everybody has choices. If you're being held illegally, you file a habeas corpus that this is illegal. They submitted false documentation. Here it is, Judge. Or if not, you file what's called an APA claim, which is Administrative Procedures Act claim, that they didn't follow their own procedures by submitting false documentation. Now you got to prove all of this. But my statement back to you is, unless you have relief from deportation, okay, unless you have relief from deportation, I assume you're out of status, which means you either have to apply for cancellation or removal. You have to be eligible for a green card immediately through marriage to a U.S. citizen, or asylum or withholding or removal or something. So we got to figure out what is your relief from removal.
The deal was I wasn't out of status. I was fully in status.
But are you out of status now, or are you in status now?
Well, because I was detained by ICE for like a year, that made me fall out of status.
All right, so I think, Eric, what we need to do is, it sounds like, basically what you're saying to me is this, if I understand you. You were in legal status in school on a student visa, and ICE arrested you and said you weren't, and then submitted documentation to say you weren't. And as a result of that, you were ordered deported. And really what you would want to happen, assuming you can go back to assuming this is all correct and true what you're saying, is you would then file an APA claim in district court. I presume you would do this. I would have to review your records, but off the top of my head, not knowing everything about your case, my presumption is that we would file an APA claim in district court, and you would prove that you were in legal status and ask a judge to reinstate your status back to the student visa, assuming you can afford to go to school and everything. So, we would have to look at everything. So hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go to Shanika in Kingston, Jamaica. Shanika.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm great. My question is, if you're in the United States, right, and you're on a B1, B2 visa, you got married after the 90 days, without submitting any documents to the immigration, you can come back to your country and fly again on your B1, B2 without no problem?
Without a problem, I can't guarantee you. Every time you come into the United States, they make an independent decision at the airport. Are you coming to live permanently, or are you coming to visit? So if you're married to a U.S. citizen, the presumption is you're coming to live. If they know you're married to a U.S. citizen, the presumption is you're coming to live here. So now you have to prove to them you're not. You're really just coming to visit and you're going home. So I mean, you always run that risk when you're married to a U.S. citizen and traveling on a tourist visa.
Okay, so that was my question. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Kimberly in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Kimberly.
Hi.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Calling because I'm interested in actually filing for my son, but I'm stuck with the decision of sending him home or having him stay with him.
I don't fully understand, because you're kind of like muffled a little bit. You're interested in filing for your son, and I didn't hear the rest of it.
He's there with me. I haven't started the filing as yet. However, I want to do it, but based on my living situation now, I wanted to know if by starting the process, I could still do the filing with the visa.
All right, you faded off at the end. You're interested in filing for your son. You haven't done it yet, and you want to know what status you in right now? Are you on a speakerphone? Pick up from a speakerphone. I think it's the speaker.
No, I have in a headset. Let me put it in my phone.
Are you talking into your telephone right now? I find that hard to believe, but if you are, okay.
All right.
Now I hear you better.
Is this better?
Of course, now I can hear you. Okay, so what is the question?
Okay, so my son is visiting. He's 15 years old, and I am undecided if I should let him stay here while I'm filing for him, or if I can have him visit back and forth based on my living situation.
What is your living status? What's going on right now?
I don't have enough space.
You don't have enough space?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't have enough space, you don't have enough space. You're married? You're single? What's your situation?
Married.
You're married to a U.S. citizen. And
yes.
And how long has your son been here?
2 months.
Well, this is the answer. He's here. If you wait another, 30 days, you can file his adjustment and get him a green card. He can conceivably go home, but he's already stayed for 2 months. There's no guarantee he's allowed back. There's no guarantee what's going to happen with the U.S. Embassy with coronavirus. There's no guarantees on anything. So, I mean, for somebody to say, yeah, go home, don't worry about it, I don't know. He's your son. I'd find a room, let him stay 30 days and adjust your status, but, I'm not living there with you.
Okay. I understand.
All right.
Thank you so much for answering my question.
Welcome. All right, let's go to Ladine in New York. Ladine.
Good afternoon, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have 2 questions, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first, I have filed for my daughter that live in Jamaica in 2016, and her priority date is 2016. However, Brad, she come 25. I paid all fee. Now I became citizen, and I received an email from NVC. I don't know the difference, Brad, between hop out. She was in category F2B.
Right. We talked about that. I think it was the first caller where she said the F1 category was longer than the F2B. So the answer is you want to opt out and stay in the F2B category because that's going to be faster.
Okay, so should I, cause they send me that email because they take her out of F2B, put her in F1 because of my status.
Right, you want to opt out of F1, go back to F2B. You have that right, and that's the faster category at the moment.
Okay, so if I do that, Brad, I know it because of the ban. How long would she able to join me here if I hop out of...
Assuming there's no ban, sometime next year.
Okay, so the F1 will be much longer wait?
Correct. The F1's in 2014, the F2B is in 2015.
Okay.
All right.
F1 is in Yes, Brad.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Brad, and continue doing your work, Brad.
My
I'm really
pleasure.
proud of you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Maria in Long Island. Maria.
Hi, Brad. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
My question to you, sir. I'm a resident. Wanted to file for my 2 kids under the age of 21. What's the process?
File an I-130. Where are they? Where are your children?
So they're in Jamaica.
Okay, file an I-130 for each of them.
And how long you think it would take?
I don't
even
know.
Though the corona is an issue.
How old are they?
One is 18 and one is 11.
How did you get your green card?
My daughter.
Okay. Assuming no corona, it should be under 2 years. With corona, I don't know.
You're the one who do my stuff, so how can I get you? Because I was calling you from yesterday.
Oh, hold on. You can get me by holding on 1 second, okay?
Of course.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Tamik in Jacksonville, Florida. Tamik.
Hi, Brad. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I have two questions. I filed for my daughter, and I was approved. NVC sent me a notice and everything, and now I'm waiting on a visa date, like a interview date. But I won't be able to travel. Like, for example, they set the interview date for next week. I won't be able to travel. Can I ask someone to take her to the embassy, or I will definitely have to be there?
How old is your daughter?
She's 6.
No, yeah, you can have somebody take her and just give an affidavit that you can't travel.
Okay, I have another question though. I have been here for 3 years and I want to apply for my citizenship. However, my husband and I, we're still married, but we're separated at the moment. Can I still file?
No, you can't. You gotta be living with him.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Brandon in Silver Spring, Maryland. Brandon.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yeah, I have a question. My wife is a U.S. citizen, and she's a military. She filed for me last month, and this month I get a DUI. I got an accident with a DUI doer, and I take a lawyer to handle that case. Do that case affect my process?
It does. It depends what you plead guilty to. You can plead guilty to something that makes you inadmissible, deportable.
No, it was a DUI.
I said you could. You haven't pled guilty to anything yet. You don't know what the result's going to be. So you could conceivably plead guilty to something that makes you deportable, inadmissible. Even if it's a DUI that is not inadmissible, under current regulations, a DUI is automatic bad moral character, and you do need to prove good moral character to adjust your status. So you would need to overcome moral character for certain, and hopefully you don't plead guilty to something that's inadmissible or deportable. So before you do anything anymore, I would suggest not only getting a good criminal lawyer, getting a good immigration lawyer.
Okay, now that I have an accident lawyer that is handled that case. If the case is closed,
I hope you don't have an accident lawyer handling it, because an accident lawyer would be doing something for personal injury. You would need a criminal defense attorney. Do you have a criminal defense attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. If your case is closed, the fact that you got arrested could impact your moral character. If you're found guilty of a DUI, it is bad moral character, or you may be found guilty of something else that makes you inadmissible or deportable. So until you actually have a resolution to the case, I can't tell you. I can also tell you that if the case drags on and you get an interview and there is no resolution, you're going to be denied for having an open case.
Wow.
So you need representation. Hold on. Let's go to Miranda in Newark, New Jersey. Miranda.
Hello, sir. Blessings to you.
How are you?
I'm okay. I have a couple questions here.
Sure.
I've been here in the States for 8 years now. I have not gotten in trouble or anything like that. I'm single. I'm not married. Because of how my status is, will I be able to apply for a work visa or New Jersey state ID or driver's permit or anything like that?
Well, you're out of status right now, so your question is, how do I become legal? I don't have the answer for you, off the top of my head, how you become legal. There's no work visa. I assume you've overstayed your visa, so once you overstay your visa, to get another visa, you got to go home and come back. Now, there's all sorts of different ways to become legal. The most obvious way that everybody knows is you marry an American citizen. Is that the only way? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on what your particular situation is. But I think if you've been here 8 years and you're concerned about what's my next step, I'd like to make a better life for myself, you need a consultation. We'll figure it out. So hold on one second. Let's go to Rosemarie in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Rosemarie.
Hi, good evening, Brad.
Evening.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. I have a question. I have a niece that's
she's 10-year-old. Her mother was murdered in her country of birth, so her dad took her. The dad is a 10-year green card holder, but his wife is a citizen. The question is, does the child have to be here for 3 months for the U.S. citizen wife to be able to file for her?
Is the child here now?
Yes, she is.
How long has she been here?
She's been here since June.
Yeah, I would wait. It's already June. Wait the 90 days, so there's no issue. And she'll be able to get her green card here. The stepmother will file for her.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Let's go to Mike in Denver, Colorado. Mike.
Hi, Brian. I have 2 questions to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the first one is I'm a spouse of a U.S. citizen, and I filed for adjustment of status, and that was in June, actually. Then September, my wife put her back, and since then she's been at home. And the company she's working for, I ain't going to pay her since she's not doing anything for now. I wanted to know if I can expect my EAD based on this.
If you can, you can try. I've seen situations where people are, where the spouse is out of work and humanitarian reasons to expedite. You can always try to do it. And you should. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. The worst they'll say is no.
Okay. Another question is this. I'm from Nigeria, though, and there's a ban on Nigerians on getting immigrant visas. But I'm having different opinion from different people that if you adjust your status, you're going to get denied.
No,
but I've seen people that have gotten approved.
What the answer is, the ban is on immigrant visas. An immigrant visa is a visa that you get at the U.S. Embassy to enter the United States to become a lawful permanent resident. There is no ban for Nigerians for adjustment of status. It's completely different.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's what I just wanted to ask you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Arendella in Fulton, Georgia. Arendella.
Hi, Brad. Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I filed for my mom in October of 2019. She came here on a visitor's visa December 2020, but because of COVID, she was unable to return on June 11th for return date. So my question is, I filed for her.
You're a U.S. citizen, I assume, right?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen.
And she came
Naturalization.
here on a legal visa. Just file her adjustment now.
I can still file her an adjustment now?
Yes, even if she overstayed. And if there's ever a question, she couldn't go home because of COVID. End of story. She'll get a green card here.
Okay, but would that affect the petition that I put in for her?
Well, you're going to file an adjustment with a receipt notice for that petition, so you don't have to pay for it again. You're going to use that petition to adjust her status.
Oh, so when that time comes, just use the petition to adjust the status.
The time is now. So even if it's not approved, you put in a receipt notice. You have a pending I-130. Here's my adjustment. And if you
I did file a petition for adjustment of status, but I sent in the waiver fee form, but they did not accept it.
You can't file a waiver for an adjustment. So there's no waiver fee for an adjustment.
Oh, okay.
So
I understand.
It sounds like you need help. Hold on one second. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.